Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually been on the PPSR twice.
Okay.
Yep.
And the first time I did this in 2022. Now, you're absolutely correct. In those days, I was a bit naive, and we were doing the full fucking, the whole full whole hog. And yes, you're right. You put far too much information in the stuff, and they threw me off within about 3 or 4 weeks, right? And I had this infighting with the registrar of the PPSR. And but we fought it out in emails. They don't care, chuck you off. Okay, so but now I've been in communications with some pretty switched on guys in the North Island, the Maryborough, and they're very, very switched on with all this. And so I did some friends of mine in the North Island who I went and visited. I stayed with them for a week. And they are really powering along, a bit like what you guys are doing here with the LandsAirWater Law Counsel. We've actually spoken to them tonight, and I've actually asked them to connect with you guys because they're doing some fantastic work up there, and it'd be quite nice to join the North into the South a little bit, have some sort of connection point. Really good, strong one. So anyway, they helped me with the PPSR. So I've whacked myself back on the PPSR. I've kept it very, very tight, very, very streamlined, and I haven't heard crickets.
You can also put it on UCC and reference that, and reference the UCC to the PPSR. That's a good idea.
Yes.
Okay, that's important. Yes, I haven't done that yet, but I do agree.
Yeah.
So just a quick one. I file the PPSR with the UCC.
No, you do your PPSR, then you do a UCC, and you use the document number from the UCC on the PPSR as a reference, and vice versa.
All right.
So you cover both bases. So
yes.
if anything happens, you've still got the backup from the UCC. You see?
Okay. Right. I just need a little bit of more understanding. I'm not up to date. I know UCC, and I want to start learning a lot more about the UCC side of things, and know how to document, like you've just said. Cover yourself with UCC and vice versa with the PPSR information.
It's a very similar process to the PPSR, and of course, as you know, when you do it, everything ends up squashed and all together. But but it does work. But usually you have to pay it, and on there, every time you update it, you have to pay it. But the PPSR, you can update it without having to pay for it all the time. So that's the difference.
Yeah, the UCC is actually quite expensive. You pay, I think it's $23 US every time you want to change something. It actually mounts up quite fast.
Pays to get it right first time.
Yeah. You write it all out first, then put it up, and then you'll be sweet.
Is it the same? Is it written out the same sort of way as what you've already done with the PPSR?
Yes, you can copy stuff from the PPSR and then paste it in the other.
Sweet. Is there a particular UCC filing form, or anyone got a link that you can put up here that I could just go ahead and do it?
It's in Washington. I can't remember. I have got it somewhere. If you email me and remind me, I'll find it and give it to you.
Yeah, I think I've actually got a tutorial of some sort to do it. I'll look that up as well.
Oh, that'd be good, Greg.
Yeah, that'd be great because I'll do it. I don't like mucking around. I like getting things done, and protection, self-protection is so important at this stage of the game.
Well, that's right, and it pays to reference the fact that if anyone misuses it or tries to take it off, there's a $10,000 or $20,000 fine as well. So there's a bit you can do.
Yeah.
Right. David, you're not working with Russell or Jeff, are you?
Who, me? No, none of those guys. They're married guys. Name's TK.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm working with TK. They're great guys, and they're doing some great work up there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all trust stuff. It's the same. It's the same as what you're doing, and but different again. But they are all libertarians, and they're all tongue to whenua. That's what they believe, and that's it. They don't have any other alternative or ulterior motives.
Libertarians, huh?
Well, you know what I mean. Well, I think. I call them libertarians because, you know, what other label, you know, you don't want any other label, you're fucking going to get labeled yourself, you know.
Well, it's all good.
If you're listening to this, you are the resistant.
You're you're a native, and that's how they see it too. They're there to look after everyone like we are, and they haven't got any pretenses and bullshit. They know that half their problem is within their own harpoos and iwis, and they spend most of their time dealing with that shit, sorting them out. And they do a good job, by the way. They don't piss about. They're tough. And they're sorting out their shit, and so they can make a smooth transition. And they know that the trusts are the way to go. And they're sort of way down the track on that. And so when you guys came, you know, I wasn't sure a year ago, but I'm sure now, and I know that we're all on the right track when it comes to the private trusts, multiple private trusts, and community private trusts that sort of is the umbrella for us to get involved in. And once that's done properly, even in one region area, there can be set precedents and be a model. And I think we're very, you know, I can see us being very close to that. That's why I'm keen to get pretty active and get one of these private trusts, community private trusts, up and running and operational. And I run a silver and gold business, and I know what to do there. And I'm very keen to bring in, you know, the systems in there when it comes to the financial trade between trusts, regional, and, you know, then, you know, you can actually trade with trusts overseas.
Okay, that sounds like a whole other night. Sounds like there's a lot of that.
More input or something they want to talk about what MPI's done or anything like that?
I just put that UCC link in the chat if anybody wants it.
Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
How about you, David? Do you want to talk about MPI? You know what they like.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, they're a law to their own. When I was managing the pet food company, they virtually took over your business. And you think that, you know, it's your business, but they just virtually told you what to do. And, yeah, I think they get a big ego, and they think they're just that. Yeah.
I'd like to add to that. This is you've mentioned something. I'll tell you exactly what MPI are. MPI are intelligence, part of the intelligence arm, and they have been weaponized, and they are one of the strongest, if not the strongest, weaponized government utility. And they're virtually militarized now, and they do intelligence gathering. They create. It's like they create narrative. You know, it's a money making scheme. They are racketeering. It's a racket. They're racketeering, right? So, and for them to racketeer, they have to create obviously legislation, create the opportunities. Then they go out and seek and find. And what they do is they seek and find through their own intelligence networks, which spread out all over the country, right? And if they see something that can give them an opportunity to create contract, they will go out there and they will pursue it. Now, they have unlimited freaking unlawful actions. They can do anything. They can walk on your land. They can go anywhere. They can do anything. They have unlimited power. Well, so they claim, right? So they claim. So
They think they can.
that's right. This is the point. They presume they have this presence, and they put out this persona that they have this ability to do that, right? But so they've got away with it for a freaking long time across the country, and they basically contract the cops to stand there as the guards and allowing them to fucking persecute you. They raided my house. They raided right across the country. Fucking, they've done amazing shit against me, and I am fucking crossed the line. So that was it for me. I'm out here to mate. I won't stop until they're stopped. I can't help it. When you come into my house with some bullshit excuse, that's it for me. You're done. So anyway, so they are an intelligence, and I've had plenty of written to and fro against their top men, and regarding who they think they are and what they think we are. And they basically, anyone who's against the government and MPI is a sovereign citizen. Basically, you're a fucking terrorist, right? But they can never ever drag that information, put it in a courtroom, and dangle it in front of you and say you're a sovereign citizen. Because if they ever do, it's defamation against your character. You would be able to destroy them with that. And I've actually asked them under an OIA, am I against MPA? Show me who and where you got any information that I'm a sovereign citizen. And you to bring it forward. I want to know who said it, who did it, how did you get the information, where did it come from? Because you know how they got the information? After the raids on my house. After they took all my USB docs, my computer, downloaded everything, blah, blah, blah. Then they saw that, he's got a little thing about the government. We're going to label him as a sovereign citizen.
Another assumption, of course. Yeah.
It's all some presumptions, but it's a stupid argument, never can be won, not properly, because simply as a sovereign citizen is a private man or woman that knows that they're understanding the difference between public and private, and that's the biggest threat to them. Simple as that. And you can they're done if you start bringing that sort of discussion into a court.
Out of curiosity, who is the Minister for Primary Industries? I mean, this is the old... Who?
Smith. Is it Paul Smith or somebody?
Nick Smith, is it?
No, Brent's a bit the next one down. But I'm pretty sure it's somebody Smith. Yeah. Brian, might be Brian. Have a look it up.
Yeah.
How about you, Grumpy? Have you got anything to add, seeing as you're the new boy here? I thought I'd introduce you. Hope I don't embarrass you.
I think what's more interesting is the CEO of MPI. Okay. So you can't be the CEO of MPI without being a diplomatic attaché to somebody somewhere under the UN. So if you have a look at that guy, if you have a look at that guy, that would be quite interesting. They've got a very clear mandate, and Richard's right. They are the second biggest stick that the government has got, second to the IRD, and they have a lot of leeway legally, and they can simply use the process of contempt to administrate the slaves. So, yeah, I'll say that at this stage. They're not nice people, and it's true. They have a tremendous role in surveillance. I know that because I applied for a role with them for 15 years ago, and after about 2 years of going through a process of vetting, I decided to pull the pin. That's my experience with them. They're awful, awful, awful people.
They are a threat to the people of New Zealand.
They know what they're doing.
Mm.
They know who they're working for. They know that New Zealand has a shared lease arrangement with the sovereign. They know they have a responsibility to the crown, the monarch, the Vatican crown, and the Bank of International Settlements. You have to know that to operate that, to be able to act with total impunity to the wealth and well-being of the people that are on the land. That's the significant part of it. When you start having a lot to do with them, they're a nasty group. I would spend a week in a cell for a sergeant or a police officer. No problem at all. NPI, different game.
Yeah, I think they know that they've got a lot of backing. So they play some big. They've got fucking big pants, and when they happen to walk on a farm and start really throwing their weight around as if they own the joint, and they put fear into you. Now I know deep down south. You look at the police.
You look at the police, right? The commissioner is just a bobby. You started out walking the streets. You can't start an NPI and end up being the CEO. You can't. You have to be a person, right? I use that word deliberately. You have to be a person who, under the act of the Attorney General, the Reserve Bank, and all those big constitutional acts, the Constitution Act, they have a function and a power, and they have a duty. That's who they are. That's who they're directed by. If you look at those words, to perform a function and duty, or a function and a power, you look at those words in the Constitution Act and the Reserve Bank Act and all those big acts. The process of having to perform a function and a duty comes out strong in all of those acts and the MPI. That's who they are. You're really up. You're not against the government when you're going against the MPI. You're up against far higher.
Yeah, but they are bound by other acts as well.
I doubt that, because there's a significant part of that group that's part of the surveillance network of this country that have a direct line.
Bound by the act.
Yeah, you say that, but that's their rules. And they operate outside of their rules on a regular basis.
Well, they need to be pulled up.
We are instructed that if we behave in a certain matter, we are in contempt of court. They and the court can use contempt as a part of their process. So it's
yeah, but we don't really hold that contempt of court. We don't really hold them in contempt, which we should. As soon as the whole thing's contempt of court.
It's an uneven playing field. It's an uneven playing field.
Well, this is why we don't want to go into the courts, because we must be, we must actually win before you go in. You got to win. You got to win way before you even go into a court. If you go into a court, you're lost, and that's it. So we sort of know that, and this is why they can't nail me down right now. And there's this twist and turn. We just got to, basically what I'm doing is slowly sort of, or what actually the in-law, my attorney here, and the work we're currently doing is really critical, because if there's going to be anything done here regarding to rein them in something or rein them in, it's being done now with this group, with my attorney, now, right? Because really we have to sort of bring them in some sort of, pull them into lines in some way or matter. I'm in court on the supposed to be in court on the 22nd. Now, they're not adhering to a lot of shit. They don't, I mean, even this document, 45 days, and then they try and switch it to King, blah, blah, blah. Well, we can still go down that path. But if they don't follow due process and that, and it's just make a mockery, which they are, they fucking make a mockery of the court system themselves. Now, there's a point where it just gets so ridiculous that is where I'm thinking that we're going.
Yeah, all right. Hang on a sec. Can we just get anyone else that wants something on the recording? Because we're going to turn it off in a few minutes.
Yeah, please.
Have we got Irene, or we've had updates from Karen?
Irene wants to do an update for.
Yep.
Yeah, she can do that. You there, Irene?
And we'll have a general chat after. House of P and
Irene's not there.
all that.
No, Irene's dropped out.
Irene's dropped out. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you might as well.
Demlar, have you got any updates? Or Alishon? Haven't heard from Alishon.
Yeah, she did.
I spoke earlier. I gave an update. But the guy that's going to court, sorry, I didn't catch his name. But last time I went to court and I challenged their jurisdiction, they withdrew the charges. Under the District Court Rules 2014, Rule 551, it says that you can challenge jurisdiction and appearance. And so I asked the judge what jurisdictions you had to hear the matter, and the judge said none, absolutely none. So the cases were withdrawn, the charges were withdrawn. So just that's an option for you.
I've challenged them everything under the sun. I've challenged.
But if they don't answer you, if you don't,
I challenge them jurisdiction on paper and in the court.
Yeah, but if they don't answer you, you can't move on. You see, the thing is, like what I used to do, I'd be jumping around all over the place, going from one question to another. But if you ask them a question, they haven't answered it. You ask them 3 times, and it's an estoppel. It's a lawful estoppel, which means the case can't proceed. So you say to the judge, I'm going to ask you again, can you please give me what jurisdiction are you relying on to hear this matter? And then they don't answer, and you say, right, this is the 3rd time. And normally they will stop you at the 3rd time because they know that it's an estoppel. And then you say, this is a lawful estoppel. We've been unable to progress the matter, so the matter has to cease. But you research that, a lawful estoppel, because there's no evidence. They can't proceed because you haven't got past that part.
What 2014 Act was that, Alison?
A District Court Act, District Court Rules, the District Court Rules, 2014 Rule 551.
Rule 551.
Yeah, 5.51. So it's jurisdiction and appearance.
Right.
But don't forget, all the statutory legislation only applies to paper. It doesn't apply to you as well.
Could you put that in the chat?
Sorry?
Could you put that in the chat?
What, the Act, the rules?
Yes.
The estoppel as well. But also, it's all statutory legislation which doesn't apply to man. It only applies to paper, the birth, the name. And we're operating in equity. So you say to the judge, well, this is what I do. Can you see me? And he says, yes. And I say, I can see you. And then I say, can you hear me? He says, yes, I can hear you. And then I say, I can hear you. And he says, why do you ask? I said, because now we're operating in equity. Because equity supersedes everything. It's in the District Court Act, but also it's in the Senior Courts Senior Court Act 2016, so I think it's Section 80, but equity, above all, if there's two statutory, if there's two jurisdictions, equity always proceeds. So you need to get into equity.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, equity.
Cool.
We can.
And then after equity, you say you can ask them for jurisdiction.
Well, I did the jurisdiction first, but yeah,
I did the first. Okay, yeah.
I just walk in and I say, "What jurisdiction do you have to hear the matter?" And the judge says none, and I said, "Thank you." And the case was withdrawn. He said to me, the judge said, it was Judge Andrew Nichols of the Porirua District Court, the 2nd of December 2024, said the whole criminal system is run on coercion.
Yeah.
Now, I got that witnessed by 10 people that were present, and then I filed it in court, and then it was withdrawn because there was nowhere for them to move. So I can give you the case number, and then you can say, well, according to Judge Nichols in this matter, he said that the whole criminal system is run on coercion, so therefore, once coercion's been applied, everything from here is null and void.
That'd be fantastic. I'll grab that case number. Thank you.
Yeah, what is your name? So what was your name?
It's Richard, House of Powell.
Okay, I'll try and message
Do you want me
you.
to email, drop you an email, or just put it on here, or how does that work?
Yeah, well, if you know Pet Records, you can email Pet Records.
We're talking about MPI here.
Yeah, but you're going to court. You're saying if you've got a court.
Yeah, we're talking about MPI.
I got to admit, I have tried a lot in the
excuse me.
courts.
He had a question, and I was asking his question.